Welcome back to Golden Greats. The Virginian brought the spirit of the American frontier into homes across the world. Through the lives of ranchers, cowboys, and pioneers, the series celebrated courage, honor, and the values that helped shape the Old West. Today, many of the stars who rode across Shiloh Ranch have changed dramatically, and some beloved cast members are sadly no longer with us. Join us as we uncover their stories and honor the legacy they left behind. Trampas was played by Doug McClure, was born in 1935 in Glendale, California. At 27 years old, when the Virginian debuted in 1962, he brought charm, confidence, and rugged charisma to one of television's most beloved cowboys. Doug McClure died in 1995 at the age of 59 after battling lung cancer. Beyond the Virginian, he became a familiar face in westerns, adventure films, and television throughout a long career. Trampas embodied the adventurous spirit of the American frontier. His loyalty, courage, and independent nature helped make him one of the most memorable characters in classic Western television. Judge Henry Garth was played by Lee J. Cobb, was born in 1911 in New York City. At 51 years old when the series began, he brought wisdom, authority, and strength to the respected owner of Shiloh Ranch. Lee J. Cobb died in 1976 at the age of 64 following a heart attack. Widely regarded as one of America's finest actors, he earned acclaim in film, television, and theater throughout his distinguished career. Judge Garth represented fairness, leadership, and responsibility. His guidance helped shape the world of Shiloh Ranch and gave the series much of its heart and moral foundation. Randy Benton was played by Randy Boone, was born in 1942 in Fayetteville, North Carolina. At 20 years old when he joined the Virginian, he brought youthful optimism, determination, and a hardworking spirit to life on Shiloh Ranch. Randy Boone passed away in 2021 at the age of 79. In addition to acting, he was also a talented singer and musician whose career included numerous television appearances. Randy represented the younger generation of the frontier, learning valuable lessons about responsibility and perseverance. His journey reflected the hopes and challenges of life in the American West. Emmett Riker was played by Clu Gulager, was born in 1928 in Holdenville, Oklahoma. At 34 years old when he joined the Virginian, he brought toughness, confidence, and leadership to the Deputy Marshal of Medicine Bow. Clu Gulager passed away in 2022 at the age of 93. Throughout a remarkable career, he became a respected figure in westerns, crime dramas, and feature films spanning more than 6 decades. Riker stood as a symbol of law and order on the frontier. His courage and sense of duty helped reinforce the values of justice and honor that defined the world of the Virginian. Clay Granger was played by John McIntyre, was born in 1907 in Spokane, Washington. At 63 years old when he joined the Virginian, he brought wisdom, strength, and quiet authority to the owner of Shiloh Ranch. John McIntyre passed away in 1991 at the age of 83. Widely admired for his work in westerns, he became one of television's most respected patriarchal figures through decades of memorable performances. Clay Granger represented the steady leadership that kept Shiloh Ranch thriving. His integrity and experience reflected the enduring values that made classic Western storytelling so compelling. Steve Hill was played by Gary Clarke, was born in 1936 in Los Angeles, California. At 26 years old when the Virginian debuted in 1962, he brought determination, courage, and a strong work ethic to life on Shiloh Ranch. Nowadays, Gary Clarke is 90 years old and remains remembered for his contributions to classic television and Western entertainment. His career included acting, writing, and producing across several decades. Steve represented the hard-working spirit that helped build the American frontier. His loyalty and perseverance reflected the values that made the Virginian a favorite among Western fans. Betsy Garth was played by Roberta Shore, was born in 1943 in Monterey Park, California. At 19 years old when the Virginian debuted in 1962, she brought warmth, charm, and youthful energy to the Garth family. At present, Roberta Shore is 83 years old and remains fondly remembered by fans of classic Western television. Her portrayal of Betsy helped make her one of the most recognizable young characters in the series. Betsy brought heart and optimism to the world of Shiloh Ranch. Her presence reminded viewers that frontier life was about family, community, and building a future as much as adventure. Stacy Granger was played by Don Quine, was born in 1938 in Bellingham, Washington. At 32 years old when he joined the Virginian, he brought confidence, independence, and a strong sense of responsibility to the ranch. Don Quine passed away in 2025 at the age of 86. Beyond acting, he enjoyed a successful career as a producer, director, and writer in television and entertainment. Stacy represented a new generation of ranch leadership. His determination and commitment to the land reflected the frontier values of hard work, honor, and self-reliance that defined the series. John Granger was played by Charles Bickford, was born in 1891 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. At 71 years old when he joined the Virginian, he brought authority, wisdom, and a commanding presence to Shiloh Ranch. Charles Bickford passed away in 1967 at the age of 76. Widely respected throughout Hollywood, he earned acclaim in film, television, and theater during a career that spanned more than 4 decades. John Granger represented the old-school values of the frontier. His leadership and experience helped shape the ranch and reinforced the principles of honor and responsibility central to the series. David Sutton was played by David Hartman, was born in 1935 in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. At 33 years old when he joined the Virginian, he brought intelligence, compassion, and integrity to the role of the town doctor. Nowadays, David Hartman is 91 years old and remains recognized for a remarkable career in television. Many viewers also remember him as one of America's most respected television hosts and journalists. Frontier communities depended on people willing to serve others. David Sutton reflected that spirit, showing that courage and dedication were just as important in a doctor's office as on horseback. Danny was played by Frank Sully, was born in 1908 in St. Louis, Missouri. At 54 years old when he appeared on the Virginian, he brought warmth, humor, and authenticity to the life of the ranch. Frank Sully passed away in 1975 at the age of 66. Throughout his career, he appeared in numerous westerns, dramas, and classic Hollywood films, becoming a familiar face to audiences. Life on the frontier was built by ordinary people as much as legendary heroes. Characters like Danny helped make Shiloh Ranch feel like a living community filled with hard-working individuals. Holly Granger was played by Jeanette Nolan, was born in 1911 in Los Angeles, California. At 59 years old when she joined the Virginian, she brought warmth, wisdom, and strength to the Granger family. Jeanette Nolan passed away in 1998 at the age of 86. Over a remarkable career spanning more than 6 decades, she became one of television's most respected character actresses. Holly represented the compassion and resilience that helped frontier families endure difficult times. Her presence added heart and humanity to the world of Shiloh Ranch. Jennifer Sommers was played by Diane Roeder, was born in 1944 in Los Angeles, California. At 21 years old when she joined the Virginian, she brought elegance, intelligence, and youthful charm to the series. Nowadays, Diane Roeder is 82 years old and remains remembered by fans of classic television. Her career included appearances in several popular westerns and dramatic productions of the era. Jennifer added another dimension to frontier life beyond ranch work and cattle drives. Her stories reflected the hopes, relationships, and personal dreams that shaped life in the American West. Belden was played by L.Q. Jones, was born in 1927 in Beaumont, Texas. At 38 years old when he appeared on the Virginian, he brought toughness, grit, and an unmistakable Western presence to the role. L.Q. Jones passed away in 2022 at the age of 94. A veteran of countless Western films and television series, he became one of the genre's most recognizable and respected performers. Characters like Belden reflected the rugged realities of frontier life. His determination and resilience captured the spirit of a world where survival often depended on courage and perseverance. Roy Tate was played by Lee Majors, was born in 1939 in Wyandotte, Michigan. At 26 years old, when he joined the Virginian, he brought confidence, toughness, and natural charisma to the young ranch hand. Nowadays is 87 years old and remains one of television's most recognizable stars. Following the Virginian, he achieved worldwide fame through iconic roles in The $6 Million Man and The Fall Guy. Roy represented the ambitious spirit of the frontier, always eager to prove himself through hard work and determination. His journey reflected the opportunities and challenges of life in the American West. Dr. Spaulding was played by John Bryant, who was born in 1916 in Dixon, Illinois. At 49 years old, when he appeared on The Virginian, he brought intelligence, compassion, and professionalism to the frontier community. John Bryant passed away in 1989 at the age of 73. Throughout his career, he appeared in numerous television dramas and westerns, earning respect for his dependable performances. The frontier relied on people willing to help others during difficult times. Dr. Spaulding reflected that spirit of service, showing that courage often came in quieter forms than gunfights and cattle drives. The Virginian was played by James Drury, who was born in 1934 in New York City. At 28 years old, when the series debuted in 1962, he brought strength, honor, and quiet confidence to television's legendary cowboy hero. James Drury passed away in 2020 at the age of 85. For generations of viewers, he remained forever associated with The Virginian, one of the longest-running and most beloved Western series in television history. The Virginian embodied the values that define the American frontier: integrity, courage, and respect for others. His legacy continues to represent the timeless spirit of the classic television Western. Elizabeth Granger was played by Sara Lane, who was born in 1949 in San Francisco, California. At 21 years old, when she joined the Virginian, she brought warmth, grace, and youthful optimism to the Granger family. At present, Sara Lane is 77 years old and remains fondly remembered by fans of classic Western television. Although she stepped away from acting years ago, her role continues to be appreciated by longtime viewers. Elizabeth represented hope and stability in a changing frontier world. Her presence helped balance the rugged adventures of Shiloh Ranch with the importance of family, community, and tradition. The frontier may belong to the past, but the values of honor, hard work, and integrity that defined the Virginian continue to inspire audiences today. Tell us which character you remember most, and subscribe to Golden Greats for more journeys through television's greatest westerns, legendary stars, and timeless memories.